All right, welcome back to Badger Blitz TV, part of the Rivals.com network. I am Matt Perkins. Great to see you guys as always. We are joined by Clint Cosgrove, fresh off of the Rivals recruiting rankings meetings. He is a very, very busy man. Catching him in the airport right now. We appreciate him taking the time. Clint, good to see you, buddy.
Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure. I'm glad that I could make this work today.
Yeah, man. I am too. I am too. We all in the den appreciate everything that Clint is doing for us, taking the time out of his busy day to talk recruiting with us. It's a big weekend. One of the biggest visitors the Badgers will have this weekend is quarterback Lincoln Kindholes. He is seemingly the top quarterback on their board right now, Clint. This has sort of come pretty quickly for him. Tell us a little bit more about Kindholes and what you see in him.
Yeah, so I see an athletic kid. He's a heck of a basketball player as well. He can do some things with his feet. He throws a good deep ball. I like that about him. His ball placement is pretty impressive. He looks, especially for where he's playing, to have a pretty decent group of receivers, which you wouldn't necessarily expect. But like I said, just the ability of him to make plays with both his feet and his arm. I'd say my biggest question on him right now would be arm strength. But I do like his ability to move the pocket, keep plays alive, adjust really his release angle and everything like that. So those are all very impressive parts of his game for me. You also have to like that Wisconsin's getting the first crack at him right now on an official visit because his other official visits are coming down the road. I believe he's going to do North Dakota State. He's got
Wyoming
I believe he
and
finishes
Washington are the other two.
Washington.
Yeah.
So Washington's the one that you really got to watch out for, especially because Coach Kalen DeBoer, the head coach of Washington, is a quarterback guy. He's done a great job of training those guys, and they're also in need of a quarterback. So, but just for what's out there and what you see on film from him, I really like what I've seen. I have not seen him in person, which with the quarterback can ultimately be the tell-all. But I gotta trust. I trust the evaluation of the Wisconsin staff. I'm sure they've seen him throw in person, and I also trust the evaluation of the Washington staff as well. And to dip into an area that's not really recruited and not really known for that type of talent, it says something about him as a player.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, the Badgers have had success with a quarterback from the Dakotas before. I think in Brooks Bollinger turned out pretty good. So.
I forgot he was Gatorade Player of the Year in
North Dakota.
North Dakota, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
So hey, maybe lightning will strike twice in the Dakotas for the Badgers.
You never know.
If he turns into Brooks Bollinger, that's a pretty darn good collegiate career, as far as I'm concerned.
I would say so. You would take that every day.
You absolutely would. All right. Well, he's obviously on an official visit this weekend, and it's the first weekend of sort of official visit season. Now, some people, even myself included, I know sort of what goes on in an official visit, but walk us through what happens on an official visit weekend. Like, let's say I was the typical 5.6 to 5.7 under-recruited kid that Wisconsin would bring in for an official visit on this kind of weekend, maybe from the Midwest, who knows? Maybe I'm a hybrid athlete, not really sure what to do with me. What is my life going to look like for the weekend when I come to camp/official visit, Clint?
Yeah, it's funny because I've been out of coaching for a little while, so I don't know the exact plan that they have these kids on, and especially with the NIL and how things have changed in the last year. But typically what these visits are going to be like, especially if a kid hasn't been on campus, they're going to check out all the facilities. They're going to meet with the academic people. They're going to come up with an academic plan. They're going to have a host player. So a host player will get, I don't know, when I used to host kids, I think we got like $60 for the weekend to like make sure they have like food and stuff like that. And then you've got team meals, team dinners. You'll meet with your position coaches, really get a feel for what it would be like to be on the team, to be coached by those coaches, maybe get a little film eval, a little film breakdown. So, like I said, it has changed over the years. And with me being out of coaching right now, I can't tell you exactly what things are like. But, the things that you're typically going to see is, the academic stuff, the player engagement. When I was coaching, we would sit down with the players after the visits, the players who hosted, and be like, would this guy be a good fit? What was he like? Was he running around the streets crazy at night and stuff like that? And so a lot of these guys don't realize they're also being evaluated by the players on the team, because the players are invested in this team, and they want to make sure it's a good culture fit as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been fortunate to hear a lot of really interesting and really fun official visit stories through, the podcast that I get to do with Matt Bernstein. We've had a lot of guys who've talked about a variety of things that they've done on their official visits, from Scott Starks, who said that all he did was watch one-on-ones with Jamar Fletcher, who was his host, and all they did was watch film and not go out at all, to, Bernie himself, who doesn't remember a whole lot of the weekend. So, it's a really interesting time.
They really vary.
Yeah, they definitely do. And you know what? A team like Wisconsin, you kind of need all those different types of guys to kind of come together and make it work. But, if I am, especially with it being the first sort of, like we talked about last week, the first normal recruiting cycle, not, a quote unquote post-COVID world, back to as normal as we seem to be operating these days. How important is it for these kids, especially right now, to lock them up before the summer comes?
I think it's huge, because kids are trying to make decisions earlier than normal. And, if I'm a school, and especially with these summer visits, and you don't know if you're going to get them up to a game, a game day is a big selling experience. To try to get them locked in is really important. I can't say enough about it. So not to say that these teams are going to pressure, but I do think there's going to be a little pressure on these summer visits, because the longer you let it go, the more your chances dwindle. I got to hop on a plane. They're giving last call. But thank you for having me on,
Clint,
and I will be back
follow
very
Clint,
soon.
Rivals_Clint. Fly safe, Clint. We will talk to you soon. Appreciate your time. Take it easy, buddy. Check out BadgerBlitz.com, Rivals Network. Take it easy. Bye, Clint.
All right. Bye-bye.